You know, it felt like LeBron had been the best player in the world for so long that now it feels weird when it's not insane to say otherwise. Because right now, you can make a valid case for a couple of players for them to be the best player in the league, as it's wide open as it has ever been, with the likes of LeBron and Father Time really catching up with him. In today's video, I'll be making the case for these players and why they have a valid reason of taking LeBron's throne. And keep in mind, I'm not actually answering who really is the best player in the league, because honestly, I don't know, but I'm just giving the case for these players. But before I do that, you already know the drill. Just go ahead and hit that like button, as it'll help out my channel a lot, and it helps YouTube's algorithm to put out my videos a lot more frequently. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new and turn on your post notifications to never miss any of my uploads, as you're super... Oh, actually no, we reached 10 subscribers, so thank y'all for that. And now the new goal is 20 subscribers, so yeah, help me do that. And if you're frequently watching my videos, just subscribe and help your boy out. And lastly, leave your takes down below and comment what other videos y'all would like to see, as I try to respond to every comment. But with that being said, let's just get straight into the video. Well, before I get into my actual candidates, I wanted to first highlight my honorable mention, which is Kawhi Leonard. Before he got injured last year, Kawhi was having another all-time great playoff run, as him and the Clippers came back down 2-1 against the Mavericks, as he had that insane 45-point game in Game 6 to bring it back to LA, as they beat the Mavs in 7. He was also amazing in that Utah series for the most part before he got injured, and if he stayed healthy, they probably would have won the chip, and at that point, there would be no reason to not say that Kawhi was the best player at that point. But that's why he's an honorable mention, because we don't know if they would have won the chip. So for now, until he can prove it again, this is as far as I can put him. Now, there is one more player you could say that might have somewhat of a case, and I'm talking about Luka. But personally, I just don't think he's there yet. And before we even put him in that conversation, he has to win at least one playoff series. And you might say that's unfair with the roster around him, but when starting getting into these type of conversations, every little thing matters. And we know he can put up the numbers, but once he starts translating that into real success, then I'll really start entertaining that idea. But moving on to my real candidates, I want to start out with Nikola Jokic, as over the years, he's become, like in my opinion, the best passing and playmaking big of all time, and just an all-time offensive engine. He's the reigning league MVP, as he's averaging 26 points, 14 rebounds, and 7 assists per game on 58, 38, 74 splits, which is about identical from last year. He's carried them to the 60 so far, and yes, I said carry, as the supporting cast isn't really doing any favors for Jokic, and his supposed partner in crime, Michael Porter Jr., has been very disappointing to start the season, and he's been recently out due to his back problems coming back again. They're also missing Jamal Murray, and he won't be back until at least after the All-Star break. So yeah, Jokic is pulling a mean carry job right now. And really, I think the case for Jokic is mainly how good he is on offense, as obviously he's not the greatest defender in the world. But actually this season he's turned into a solid defender. I'm not going to say he's even a good one, but he's no longer a liability, I would say. But the way he can carry a team and how good he is as a playmaker and scorer, and how that just translates to team success, really does give him a solid case. But I do think that if we're arguing offense, there's one more player on here who I think is slightly better, which I will get into further on in this video. Next up, I got the king himself, LeBron James. Now, like I said in the intro, it's weird talking about LeBron when he's not the consensus best player in the world, as for many fans, like myself, that's all we've seen him as throughout this entire decade. But that just goes to show how great he is. Now, pertaining to him currently right now, he's injured with an abdominal strain, which has put him out for the Lakers for about 2 weeks or so. He's currently averaging 25, 5, 7 on 47, 35, 78 splits. Now, really the case for him is that he's still playing at basically the same level he's been at for the past couple of years. But the thing with him is that Father Time is starting to catch up with him. LeBron has always been known as an Iron Man when it comes to maintaining his body and rarely ever getting injured. But these past couple of years, LeBron has been getting some pretty nagging injuries with the Lakers, like his groin when he first became a Laker, his ankle, and now his abdominal strain. Really, it comes down to age and if he can stay healthy. And at this point, the league has caught up with him, and his athleticism is declining as he's not the clear-cut favorite for the best player in the world position. But moving on to the next player, I have Kevin Durant. As for most people, KD has always been the number 2, and rightfully so, as he had an amazing playoff run last year and had one of the greatest playoff performances of all time against the Bucks in Game 5, as he dropped a 49-point triple-double and was a toenail away from getting to the conference finals and maybe winning the championship, especially if one of Harden or Kyrie stayed healthy. And what made all that even more impressive was the fact that he was just coming off an Achilles injury, which, if you don't know, is like the worst injury in sports, and for most players is a career-ending injury. But not for KD, as he came back and played and never missed a beat. And now this year, KD is still putting up his typical numbers, as he's averaging a cool and efficient 28, 8, and 5 on 56, 43, 84 splits. But the Nets are somewhat struggling right now. The case for him is that he's still that player who went toe-to-toe with LeBron in the finals and beat him. But he had possibly the greatest supporting cast of all time. So now it's up to him to prove to everyone that those championships weren't just a fluke, and that he really can lead the team as the outright best player. And if he can win the chip this year, I think he would firmly solidify that spot. But the man who did beat KD in the semifinals, and is my second to last candidate, is the Greek Freak, Giannis Antetokounmpo. He had an all-time playoff run and would eventually beat the Suns in the finals, and had one of the greatest finals performances ever, as he dropped a 50-piece in Game 6 to take home the chip. Now currently he's averaging 28, 11, and 6 on 51, 31, 68 splits, as the Bucks have been struggling to start the season, but it's mostly due to some key guys being out. Now the case for him is that he is the reigning champion, and he put on one of the most dominant runs in playoff history, as he is, in my opinion, the best two-way player in the league. And all he needs to do is just to continue to be dominant and just win. So yeah, there's not a whole lot you could say about Giannis and just against the position, but I think he probably does have the best case right now. But there is one more player that might have something to say about that, and that man is Steph Curry. He's going bananas right now, as he's currently leading the league in scoring with 28.7 points per game on shooting splits of 45, 42, 96 on ridiculous volume, as he's currently taking 13 threes per game and is on pace to shatter his own record of most threes in the season, which was previously 402. The Warriors have the best record in the league, and it's mainly due to that man. He is a one-man system. That team goes as far as he goes. He's playing arguably the best basketball of his career right now, and is certainly the MVP favorite, at least to me. And to me, the Warriors are my favorites to come out the West and maybe win it all. And the crazy thing is that Klay Thompson hasn't even played a single game yet, and they're already this dominant. With the way Steph's playing offensively and the utter dominance and spectacle he's showcasing every night, he certainly has a case to be the best player in the league. But there are still going to be people out there who need to see him have a Finals MVP and just win a chip one more time without KD before he gets that best player title. And that criticism might be unfair to him and all the other candidates, as there's always going to be some nitpick, but hey, if you want to be the best player in the world, that's just how it goes. And that's going to do it for today's video. I hope y'all did enjoy. If y'all did, please make sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you're new, and comment your takes down below. And don't forget to turn on your post notifications to never miss whenever I drop an upload. My social links are in the description below, so make sure to follow that. But with that being said, I hope you all have a great rest of your day, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace.